Welcome to the age of machines. The age in which we live is called as the age of machines. I'm sure it's explained because we use so many machines around us. So this era in which we are living in today is called as the age of machines. So what is a machine? A machine is a tool that makes our work easier. So whatever work you do, if there is something that is making it easier, it is a machine. Example for this is a bottle opener, which makes it easier for us to open soft drink bottles, and a hand cart which we use in supermarkets to pick up things. So we use machines all the time, and it is very hard to imagine our lives without machine. Can you just think for a second? If all the machines around you were to disappear, do you think you can live a simple and happy life? I think it's next to impossible. So, in this chapter, let us travel back in time and see how we ended up where we are today. So, let's first talk about how the early men lived. When we see the early stone tools, millions of years ago, the early man lived without any machines because machines didn't exist back then. So, he lived without any machines, and they used their intelligence and first made stone tools to hunt. So if you can see this right here, these were stone tools that they carved to make pointy edges, which made it easier for them to hunt. And then the progress to better metal tools came a lot later. It was a very slow progress and took nearly thousands of years from the early stone tools. But recently, humans have made such a rapid progress, and most of the tools that we use today have been developed in just 300 years. So, you can imagine the difference between 1,000 years for a development and just 300 years for rapid development. So, whatever tools we use today have been developed in just 300 years. Now, the whole process of tools completely changed with the discovery of metals. So, if you see the discovery of metal, the first metal to be discovered was copper, and it was used widely in Asia to make better tools 8,000 years ago. So, these are just simple copper tools that were carved out. Now, these were used for hunting and various other purposes. The second metal that was discovered was bronze. So, bronze was the second metal to be discovered, and it was made by mixing copper and tin. And comparatively, it was harder than copper, so they started using it. Now, if you see the discovery of bronze, it was discovered at different times in different parts of the world. But the earliest recorded usage of bronze dates back to nearly 6,000 years ago. So, these were evidences that 6,000 years ago, bronze was used. This here are bronze tools. If you see, it is a lot better than the copper tools. So there was improvement even in the shape and the structure of tools. Then came iron. Now, the discovery of iron was a very important landmark in history. If you see, it is a lot harder than copper and bronze. So here we have iron tools. If you notice iron tools, they are pretty strong and they are sturdy, and if you see the structure, it is a lot more clear and well cut when compared to these two. So these were much better. So the discovery of iron helped humans progress faster. And how exactly did they use these tools? Let us see the uses of iron tools. The uses of iron tools: first, they used it to make much better tools and weapons. Then they used iron to cut down trees and clear out forests so that they could cultivate something and use agriculture to grow crops. And then they used it again for hunting animals, which was made easier because they were much sharper, more sturdy, and a lot more stronger. So this was about the discovery of metals. Now we will talk a little bit about transport. Let us talk about wheels, carts, and boats. Now, we do not know the exact time frame of when exactly a wheel was invented, but we know that the use of carts which run on wheels were being used nearly 5,000 years ago. So 5,000 years ago, there were carts run by wheels that were used. Now, the early carts were either pulled by humans, and later they started domesticating animals and they used animals to run their carts. More on this you will study in the chapter of transport. Now, if you see early man's life, the early men used rafts and rowboats, and then they learned how to navigate with the force of wind using sailboats. So, on a raft, they generally would use their own muscle power to move. Same with a rowboat, where they used a little bit of the water current and the speed of the water to navigate. Then they saw that the winds can also help them move, and they developed a sailboat which uses wind energy to move around. So this was about how wheels, carts, and boats came into existence. Then we had the whole revolution in the field of transportation with the coming in of the steam engine. So let us talk about the steam engine and the industrial revolution. Now, till about 300 years ago, people used only the power of their muscle or animal power or the force of wind and water to navigate around and travel on land. But the invention of the steam engine revolutionized life. They now had much powerful force to run their machines. So, because of this, faster transport, building, and running of big machines was done by the help of steam engines, which gave a tremendous boost to the industrial sector. So, as you can see here, this is nothing but steam engines which are helping factories to run. Now, if you see earlier, goods were made with hand by people at their own homes using simple techniques and simple tools. But with the coming of the steam engines, people started using it in factories, and goods could be produced in very large quantities. And people observed that these goods were a lot more cheaper and better quality, and many people started to buy these goods. And because of this, the demand for machine made goods started becoming more and more popular. And this led to what we call as the factory system. So they started establishing factories where goods could be made. So, big factories with very large machines came up in cities, and many people from the nearby villages started coming to the cities to work at these factories. So, in turn, because of this, the cities grew larger and larger. So, this explains how some of the cities, even today, have very large factories which have workers coming from the nearby settlements. Now, when you see industrial revolution, the significant change from handmade goods to machine made goods, which began in Britain in the 18th century, is what we call as industrial revolution. So suddenly, from handmade goods, people started buying machine made goods. And because of this revolution, large scale changes was brought into our economy, society, as well as culture. So this industrial revolution influenced our economy, society, as well as the culture. So we can rightly say that the invention of steam engine made industrial revolution possible. Without the steam engine, we wouldn't have had the industrial revolution. Now, let us look a little into the sources of energy for these steam engines. Now, when you look at sources of energy, we will talk about three different main sources of energy. First of them is coal. Now, when you see coal, coal was the first fuel to be used in steam engine to produce steam, and it was obtained from mines or little caves, and still it is an important source of energy even today. So this here is coal, and this is a coal mine from which miners are taking the coal deposits. Now, a large amount of coal is used in power plants to produce electricity. Now, when you see coal, it is formed in nature from dead trees, and it doesn't just happen in 1 or 2 days. It takes about millions of years for the formation of coal. And the amount of coal that we find on Earth is limited, and researchers say that it might last us only about another 250 years before we run out of coal altogether. So, this is about the first source of energy, which is coal. Now, as